I'd like to welcome everyone to the presentation today. My name is Joe DeFranco. I'm with Construction Safety Experts. Today we'll be conducting an overview of third-party verifiers and the contractor or supplier qualification process. Some information on our company you can see there. We provide certified crane operator training with practical and written testing, annual inspections of mobile, tower, overhead cranes, load testing services as well, rigger and signal person training, lift operator qualifications training, accident investigations. I spend quite a bit of time involved with that, program and job site evaluations, program development, written programs. We'll be talking a lot about that for some of these qualification programs. OSHA and MSHA customized training programs. We also provide safety professionals on projects, expert witness services, citation reviews if you're involved with any OSHA citations, and then assistance with third-party verification process such as IS Networld. Third-party verifiers such as IS Networld, PEC Premier, PICS provide a service of ensuring contractors are compliant and safe prior to working on site. For this presentation, we'll focus on IS Networld. Many of the other qualification services are similar to this type of process. We can see here all of our owner clients want to achieve a safety culture at their organization, so having contractors and suppliers on site with this similar goal is one of the reasons they are using the qualification system. So start out at awareness, recognition. We have to have top management support, and then accountability programs. So we define our responsibilities, our written programs, our training policies, and then what kind of accountability programs do we have in place, and then we hopefully achieve that safety culture where safety is an integral part of day-to-day operations. Some of the key elements of developing that safety culture, if we stay on this slide for a few minutes, top management commitment and leadership, like we talked about, it has to start from the top down. And then assignment of those responsibilities. So what are the roles of the safety professional, the supervisors? Do we have safety committees and the employees as well? We want to have safe working conditions, and part of that approach, we have inspections conducted by supervisors and having the employees involved, job safety analysis, safety task assignments, how do we identify the hazards associated with our tasks. Also task training is a big part of that. And then our disciplinary action programs, so mechanisms to make sure that we do have that accountability system in place. Also part of that safety culture, the training and education piece of it for supervisors and employees. All of the training that is required, we'll see how we download or upload that rather to the ISNet website and what they're looking for there. And that's part of any good safety program. We also have record-keeping procedures that need to be in place. Do we have accident investigation processes, near-miss investigation forms and paperwork that can assist with investigating near misses and accidents? Do we have our OSHA and MSHA logs current and up to date? And then our inspection records for our equipment, for our mobile cranes, our forklifts, our aerial lifts. Do we have any air sampling, medical records, all of the proper record keeping in place as well? And then again, like we said, a key piece of any successful program is that employee involvement. Are they participating in weekly safety meetings and training and safety committees and those type of activities? Some of the benefits of having that safety culture in place, our workers' compensation costs are reduced. The experience modification factor also reduced, and these are things that these qualification processes look at that we'll see coming up. Direct and indirect costs of accidents as well as overall operating costs also reduced. Production, quality, safety, profit margins, all of these things will increase when we do have that safety culture in place. The potential for legal costs also reduced, and the competitive position of the company is improved. So again, these are all reasons why the owner clients look to that safety culture. Do we have the right programs in place? Is there training? Is there accountability? As well as all the specific insurance requirements there. On the next slide here, if we go on, this comes from ISNet World website, and you can see the client list, energy, divisions, utilities, healthcare, manufacturing, wood and paper, quite a few paper mills subscribe to the ISNet qualification process, mining industry. And if you click on these categories, you can see the client lists, and right now there are over 260 owner clients that subscribe to ISNet World and over 43,000 contractors using ISNet World. So that is the question, what is ISNet World? It's basically an online database. It's a global resource for connecting corporations with safe, reliable contractors and suppliers. Basically, they collect the information and report it in easy-to-follow format. It allows the owner clients, the corporations, to select resources that best meet their requirements and also the OSHA, the government requirements, while providing contractors or suppliers the opportunity to centralize their information, save time, and gain presence in the marketplace. So it can be a marketing tool as well. Many large companies are using third-party verifiers like ISNet World to get all the data collected. In short, they're basically outsourcing the task of ensuring that companies they hire have safe work practices and meet owner-client requirements. So ISNet compliance means you have fulfilled the requirements your client has requested, and that involves uploading all the information to the ISNet website. So if you have a customer or client that wants you to achieve ISNet compliance, there's many steps involved. First, you need to become a member, subscriber of ISNet World, and the subscription price is based on the number of employees you have, and there's also a setup fee. And if you go to their website, you can see that there's different tiers depending on how many employees you have. For example, Tier 1, if you have 0 to 4 employees, the annual fee is $600, and the setup fee is $100 fee for that. Tier 9 is greater than 2,500 employees, and the annual fee is $12,800 and a $1,000 one-time setup fee. So again, the employee number is based on a 3-year average there. The next step for ISNet compliance is you have to upload your safety manual and PDF file and answer questions related to each program. Then you have to upload your insurance certificates and EMR letters and your OSHA logs for the last 3 years. And then we answer questions in what they call the MSQ, the Management System Questionnaire, so all the particulars about your organization. You also need to provide training certification records, and those records should include the company name and address, the date, the instructor printed name and signature, the training topic, and the printed name and signature of those trained. And that's really nothing new from the current OSHA requirements. Whenever we conduct training, we want to have a training certification record on file. So if we do conduct the training, obviously new employees immediately upon hire would be the idea. And then also if we get a new piece of equipment or a new process, then everyone is really considered new to that process. We want to have some training documented for that. The most effective type of training we can do is hands-on, doing the real thing, so task-type training is recommended here. When we look at ISNet World, there's also a section called Review and Verification Services. They call that the RAVs, and we have the incident forms there. Any previous OSHA or MSHA citations, we would have to disclose the written safety programs, and then the training documentation. And then we also have procurement RAVs, and that would be our EMR rate, workers' compensation premium rate, statements, and certificates of insurance under that section. So why do we look at incident rates and EMRs, experience modification rates? We can see a company wants to set measurable goals such as reducing incident rates or EMRs. We can see from the slide here the premium paid can be very different depending on the EMR. For example, here, if we have the same class of carpentry listed, an EMR of 1, most new companies start off with an EMR rating of 1. That's average. If we experience accidents and injuries, we're going to go above a 1. If we have safety programs in place, we don't have the accidents and injuries, we tend to go below the rating of 1. So if we have an example here of a company with a 1.0 from EMR, you can see they're paying a premium of $500,000. If we have the same class company with an EMR of 0.50, they're paying $250,000 premium. So if an owner-client is looking at this and other things are equal, if we have the same number of employees, hours bid into the project, the same tools, the same materials, the same skill level, what can really set us apart is our safety program. So what are incident rates, what are our EMR ratings? That is why these owner clients look real hard at all of these numbers and factors and have those requirements in place. If we look at the next slide, we have typical programs submitted for the RAVS process that we talked about. So this is just a listing of some of the general programs we might submit, and the process is you submit each separate program in that PDF file and answer questions related to the topic. So new hire orientation in Section 7, for example, do we have the right mix of experienced employees with new hires on the different crews working together? Medical facility emergency procedures, pretty common one there. Hazardous communication in Section 10, which, by the way, that program is changing. There's an update to the requirement. There's changes including hazard classification. Also now we'll have SDSs instead of the MSDSs we were always used to in the past. Labeling changes as well. And the new standard requires employees to be trained on the new label requirements and the SDS sheets by December 1st of 2013. So that's one to definitely take a look at for a HAZCOM program. Are we holding effective safety meetings? Do we have procedures for reporting accidents, near misses, and injuries? Eye, face, head protection policy, PPE policies in place here. Electrical safety, lockout, tagout programs, fall protection, disciplinary action. Is there a written program, again, for that accountability system? So all of our standard programs there, and then from time to time you'll run into some very site-specific policies. If you're working at a chemical plant maybe, or the owner client does a lot of work with process safety management. We've also seen requirements for working alone. If you have procedures for people that are working alone, always prefer to have more than one person, but some owner clients want to have a written program for that. Rail safety programs, if there's a railroad track on site, or other specific owner-client program requirements. We've seen some different ones over the years. On the following slide here, obviously the owner clients, they're interested in avoiding the accidents, especially when indirect costs are considered. You can see here direct costs would be things such as the medical expenses incurred from injuries sustained in the accident. These costs are most often reimbursed by insurance. A lot of times you don't pay attention to the indirect costs, the non-billable costs. They're most often uninsured, usually unrecoverable, usually account for 70 to 90% of the true costs of accidents. So some examples of indirect costs we can see there: wage costs of others, for example, time lost through the work stoppage, supervisors lost time related to investigating the accident, performing corrective follow-up activities, maybe meetings with managers, clients, that type of lost work time there. Replacements also, cost of training personnel to perform the injured employee's work will be another example under that category. Also, we have property damage as an indirect cost, the cost of materials damaged, destroyed, or otherwise made unusable, cost of replacing, repairing, cleaning up damaged equipment, machinery, and tools. We'd have to incur those costs, and costs of personnel to do the cleanup, replacement, and repair. And then we can have administrative costs, which are important indirect costs we want to pay attention to. Again, management time. Do we have to review, investigate, and report the accident? Researching, implementing corrective actions, reviewing, revising safety policies and procedures and training that might be involved there. And the increase in workers' compensation costs, legal costs, or other liability insurance premiums we'd want to consider as well. Also, unhappy customers, if we're having these accidents and injuries on their property, are they likely to invite us back for future, to bid on future projects? So definitely want to pay attention to all the true cost of accidents, and that's why these owner clients are interested in this. The next slide here, this is a accident that I looked at a number of years ago, involves a crane turnover, and I think it's a good illustration of indirect costs. So we have the direct cost maybe of the cost to repair, replace the equipment, the roller coaster track there that was being set in place by the crane. This was at an amusement park. And then the real indirect costs here are all the people involved with turning the crane over and doing the cleanup and making everything right. And you can see all the people involved. And I was taking this picture myself, and there's many more people behind me, including the owner, the customer, again, people that aren't happy with this accident. The next slide here, this comes from the ISNet World website, and it's a form letter where owner clients, they would issue this to their contractors, explaining to them why they're requiring ISNet process. And some of the highlights here, you can see safety and health excellence involves going beyond compliance to ensure that we identify and understand associated hazards and risks, apply appropriate prevention safeguards and strategies, and train employees to do the same. They want to monitor their performance and the contractors and work towards improvement. And the letter goes on to say that ISNet continues to serve as the company's primary contractor information management system. As a result of this action, contractors and their subcontractors performing services are required to become subscribers to ISNet World, like we mentioned earlier. It says there's a nominal fee for this, and we talked about that. And the company believes the benefits to both parties will exceed the associated costs. And then item 2 goes on to talk about company sites, the information required. You can see there, number 1, the company profile, so all the particulars about your organization. And then the MSQ, replace all previous company questionnaires sent to your company. So one advantage is you do it one time, you're qualified for that owner client, and you don't have to fill out multiple bid packages with all the same information many times. You do it one time and it's entered in the system. We have document submittal under item 3, and then the RAVs process, item 4 that we mentioned. And then it says here, in order to be considered by our company during the contractor selection process, your company subscription must be in place by October 15th of this year. So this happens to be from a paper mill that submitted this letter, and they're requiring ISNet subscription by this month of this year. It says your company's cooperation and participation in bringing this cost-effective technology solution to our business is appreciated. So basically, you do have to participate if you want to bid for work on their projects. And then that letter goes on to talk about contractor frequently asked questions. You can see question 1, why can't we continue to provide the information the way we have in the past? And the company feels that it identified several advantages to using ISNet World and is working with its contractors to use it. And again, there's over 260 owner clients and over 43,000 contractors using this management record-keeping process to reduce internal administrative costs and improve reporting. Question 2, why does the contractor have to pay? And the company replies the fee is nominal and gives the contractor access to all the owner clients in ISNet World, and there are a number of other benefits that go on later in this letter. Question 3 says, well, we do a small amount of work for your company. Do we have to do this? The answer is yes, and that's the way these owner clients are going to get access to their property, to bid on their projects. You have to go through this process. Who is going to train me on using the system? How long will the training take? How quickly can I be trained on using ISNet World? So if you go to their website, you can see there's numbers you can contact there. They have webcast training, so they are helpful in getting set up with this process. Do I get any other benefits? And some of the key benefits were reviewed, and we'll review those coming up. How do I establish my subscription, the contact numbers there, and any other owner-client specific requirements we may need to look at. Some of the benefits they were discussing, it's a resource for connecting organizations around the world with safe, reliable contractors and suppliers. Ensuring proper conformance and maintaining up-to-date credentials is essential, but not always simple. They try to simplify that process. And again, there's thousands of contractors, suppliers who are taking advantage of the benefits there. Receive email reminders prior to the expiration of insurance and other conformance information. Link to relevant country-specific industry resources, and access to the help desk is also a benefit under their section. Gain marketing exposure to clients around the globe. You can create a searchable company profile, including industry and location. So if a owner-client goes into ISNet World and they're looking for the services you provide, your name will come up there. Centralize all conformance items, contact and marketing information. Maintain an online document library. And the RAVS team reviews and verifies the contractor-supplier information and accuracy, and help prevents costly complications down the road is what another benefit they list. So again, the RAVS review and verifies our written safety programs, our accident incident reports, our EMR certificates, our workers' comp letters and rate sheets, the training documents, training certification records, our certificates of insurance, any previous citations, and supplier diversity certificates. And also, they receive applicable third-party provided data you can see listed there. So in summary, what is ISNet World? Again, it provides an online contractor management database. The owner clients can pre-qualify all of the contractor suppliers, and it's a one-time process, and maintain that system in their database. We talked about some of the benefits: efficient and standardized way to meet owner-client requirements, improve internal safety, information systems, written safety programs are audited by safety professionals, track individual data, and ability to track training and qualifications, and marketing exposure to the owner clients again. Is ISNet World a secure database to store all this company-sensitive information? They say they have industry-standard security measures in place to protect the loss, misuse, and alteration of this information. It's also password protected, allowing only authorized users to access the site. When you go on site there, you do have to have a password. Owner-client requirements. Do questionnaires with ISNet World satisfy questionnaire requirements for owner clients using ISNet World? And it basically says your company will complete the questionnaire once and provide quarterly updates as required by owner clients. So that is another benefit there. What types of documents are submitted to ISNet World? We talked about insurance certificates, the written safety programs in PDF form there, owner-client specific documents that they might request, training certification records, and then our OSHA forms, usually for the past 3 years, and any supplier diversity certificates we might have. And some other issues you might that might arise if you are subscribing to ISNet World is you might have multiple locations and have different policies at different sites, so you might need some site-specific plans or programs, and again, we can assist with all of this if you do have any questions. So basically, this completes our overview of the third-party verifiers and qualification process. Please give me a call if you have any questions, if we can assist with any qualification process, any program development, audits, training that might come up. You can see my number there, 919-417-2139. Again, my name is Joe DeFranco, and I appreciate your time today.